Radio.
Freedom is a ribbon of untouched highway, an acre, 2 kids in a white picket dream, loosening your tie at the end of a workday. That's what America means to me. It's a purple heart that my granddaddy gave me, an ice cream shop on the corner of Main Street, 2 names carved in a heart on an oak tree. That's what America means to me. Oh, that's what America means to me. Oh, because of the brave, it's the land of the free. Small town heroes and big city dreams. Oh, that's what America means to me. Bottle rocket summers dropping from rope swings, Friday night dance with a homecoming queen, Detroit steel rolling out from the factory. That's what America means to me. Oh, that's what America means to me. Oh, because of the brave, it's the land of the free. Small town heroes and big city dreams. Oh, that's what America means to me. 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 Oh, because of the brave, it's the land of the free. Small town heroes and big city dreams. Oh, that's what America means to me. That's what America means to me.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
The horse, with beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice. From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at war horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improved communication skills, trust, and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at war horses, you're family, and families solve problems together.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I can feel this in my ears. What is happening?
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
What is going on, everybody, out there in Radio Land, out there on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the. I was gonna say something like on Kick, but my Kick hasn't been working, so I can't say hi to the folks that are on Kick if there was anybody. And I don't think we do Twitch anymore. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Friday Night Freedom. My name is Kaz, and guess what? That's not a still image of Pookie. That's like a real live action depiction of Pookie, man. What's going on? Welcome back.
I'm back. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I've been busy, both with work and everything else. Oh, you haven't heard the foundation? I think I was when you left. I think I was beginning my foundation repair journey.
Oh yeah. I remember you saying something about them having to dig a bunch of stuff up before I had taken off.
Yeah, they did it. Foundation's fixed. Cracks are healing themselves, but I also had to have a retaining wall built and a new driveway poured. And since they were going to do that, I had them do some work in the front yard. So I had them make a nice little stone flower bed and poured a little 2x4 slab for my trash cans and, stuff like that. So $17,000 later, I'm doing good. It's good. It looks good. Now, I got to dig up some stuff. I last weekend, I didn't have a show last week, but I had a bunch of dirt. I had 2,000 pounds of dirt delivered, compost. Mm-hmm. And they put that in my front yard, and I had to get it into my backyard. They don't have access to the backside, so I had to do it myself. So that was kind of cool. It was good weather. The weather cooperated. It wasn't raining. I tilled it in. It turned out pretty good, man. So it'll take a while. It'll take a couple of rains for that soil to really settle down. And every time I add some compost and whatnot, I just mix in some peat moss, a little bit of fertilizer, just kind of get the soil ready for planting in the spring. I'll plant a couple trees back there, some bushes. It'll look nice. But I really wanted to do it this year, but I mean, you can't buy any good. You can't really buy anything. Anything that's left, like at the nurseries and stuff, is just like leftover crap from the year that no one wanted. So
Tractor Supply had some like fruit trees when I was down in Texas before I had left. There was a bunch of like apple, peach, pear, kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some a couple of Chinese maples. I don't have a lot of room. I'm sorry, Japanese maples, not Chinese maples. You don't like them?
It's just ornamental plants.
It is ornamental, and they're drought tolerant. They're pretty. They're red. They're deep red, and they change. They're like green in the summer, and then it starts getting cool, and then they just go balls to the walls red, man. It's just I like them. The ones that I'm getting are only going to get 10 to 12 feet high. They're going to have a canopy of about maybe 12 feet, out. So it's not going to. There's not a lot of room back there, so I don't want them to be growing into my house or growing into the neighbor's stuff. So
let's get some pecan trees, man.
Ooh.
Osage. There you go.
Yeah, right. Nah,
I real nasty neighbor. Plant a bunch of Osage.
or cottonwood or something that makes a mess. I don't want anything that makes a mess because that, it's just more work for me. I was thinking, crepe myrtle, but that doesn't get that side of the house doesn't get a whole lot of.
I hate those things.
Why not? Why?
Two of them. I've been trying to kill one of them off for the last 3 years, and the other one is just like, it was topped improperly, so it just looks nasty. I just want to burn it to the ground.
Yeah, the ones that I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna pay extra, and I'm gonna buy them from a grower, and they're gonna be just small. They're not gonna get that big. I'm not gonna have to cut them all the way back every year because they're gonna be 12 feet or so high, and that's as tall as they're gonna get. My neighbor's got a crepe myrtle. I think that thing's every bit of 30 feet high. And it looks really pretty when it's blooming, but then all those blooms drop on the ground and they stain the pavement and they kill the grass, and I don't want to deal with that. Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah.
We deal with this shit all the time around here. They had the Bradford pears, which was big in the South for some reason.
Those are really big, just contractor ornamentals, just to plump in the yards, and they don't do very well because if you don't treat them right, then the roots will grow into your foundation. If you don't water them a lot, they look kind of pretty. So on, I guess it all depends on what you.
When they flower, they stink the hell out of. I think my state actually banned the sale of them now because they're considered an invasive species.
Wow.
And people were planting them all over the place, and now they're just taking over the swamps and nasty little plants. You're better off just growing like a fruit tree, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, and then you get a snack every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of growing up. We had, let me see what we had. We had a crabapple tree.
Crab apple.
Mm-hmm. We had apple, it's regular apple tree. That what did it get? Like the Granny Smiths, the real sour green apples. And I don't like sour.
I like
stuff.
tart apples.
Yeah, I don't mind tart apples as long as I have like caramel or something to dip it in. You got to sweeten that up a little bit. Yeah, I think Michigan.
Add a little salt.
What is that? What is that? What is that apple it comes from Michigan? What is it called?
Red Delicious?
No, they're sweeter than Red Delicious.
Pink Lady?
No, but man, they're really really good. They every once in a while they'll get down here in the supermarkets, and I'll buy them. I eat the crap out of them.
Galaxy, I was down there in Texas. I picked up a bushel of the Galaxy apples, and those things are they're so sweet, stupid sweet, for no reason. Stupid sweet.
And oranges. I'd like to have an orange tree, but that's just not compatible with this environment. Well, anyway, tonight though we have
so you'd probably be good with like a pawpaw tree, man. You might be able to get away with that.
What's that?
It's kind of like a native North American tropical fruit. It's like a mix between maybe a mango and a banana.
A banana.
Yeah, they don't sell them in the markets because they bruise really easy. As soon as they fall out the tree, they're bruising real bad. So it's just really hard to market. But
that sounds really good, fruit. Actually.
A really good fruit.
I love mangoes. I'll eat the crap out of some mangoes. I like making.
Banana.
I make a really good mango salsa. What do they call it? Chutney. And make a grilled salmon, and you put that chutney on the salmon. And it's just really good. Good stuff. My kids got me a Father's Day present one year, and it was a cooking class, and we ended up making grilled salmon with that stuff on it, and they liked it. I loved it. So that's in my bandolier of recipes and stuff that I do. So anyway, we got a guest tonight. The SITREP Foundation is going to be here. We're going to have Chris Wood and Justin Keely are going to be joining us at the top of this next hour. The SITREP Foundation exists to assist veterans, first responders, and their families. So, I love organizations that come around to help other veterans and the first responder communities. And make sure you're here at the top of the hour, and we're going to learn what the SITREP Foundation brings to the table. And we do have shows 6 nights a week. Still, Sports Bars on Sunday. Monday is the Monday edition. Pop Culture Warrior comes at you on Tuesday. Smoke Pits on Wednesday, Sergeant's Times on Thursday, and every other Friday, Pookie and I will be here for Friday Night Freedom. So here's a little graphic of our guest this evening. It's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good interview. I'm very interested to see what these folks are all about. They're all veterans, and everyone, they're here to just help other veterans, because it's just that's just one of the things that veterans do. So, and it's also, oh gosh, I guess everybody has heard that it's like, it's some birthday freaking Marine Corps birthday today.
The Crayon Eater's birthday, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So it is the Marine Corps' birthday. I'll play a little bit of Marine music there. So the United States Marine Corps established on November 10th, 1775, to augment naval forces during the Revolutionary War. The recruiting headquarters was set up by Captain Samuel Nichols in the Tun Tavern on Water Street in Philadelphia, which is considered to be the birthplace of the Marines. Mm-hmm. So how about that? Happy birthday, guys. Just don't eat all the crayons. Some of them, fine, just don't overdo it. Everything in moderation. And it's also Veterans Day this weekend. This is Veterans Day weekend, and some of the big sales and happenings are happening. Marine Corps safety brief. Okay, the Marine Corps birthday does not require you to be naked, no matter what the whiskey tells you. So stay out of jail and keep your clothes on. Anyway, this is what were you going to say?
This sounds very Army briefish.
Oh, I know. Keep your clothes on. Don't kill anybody. Don't do stupid shit. But yeah, it is Veterans Day. It's the Veterans Day weekend, and I did go to Academy today, not for the discounts and stuff that they're having for Veterans Day. I was looking at Texas Rangers memorabilia. I wanted to pick up a shirt. So these shirts are nothing special. There's a couple of different versions of the same shirt and different designs, and they're like $40, $40 for a shirt. So I'm looking at it. It's like it seemed a little cheap, and then I look at the tag, and they're made in Nicaragua. Nicaragua made these shirts. So I would have been no problem buying it if it was made in the USA or whatever. But I passed on it. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of deals and discounts and whatnot. And if you plan your day correctly and efficiently, you can get 3 meals a day. You can go and get discounts in other places. I mean, Applebee's, one free full-size entree when you dine in. You'll get it for free, and then a $5 bounce back card for a future visit, like a $5 coupon. See, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. I don't know if everyone has these, but they make some pretty good food. But they're going to give you one free chocolate chunk Pizookie with an $11.95 purchase when you dine in. B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings, one free order of 10 boneless wings and fries when you dine in. California Pizza Kitchen, good pizza at this place. One complimentary meal and a buy one, get one coupon that can be redeemed from November 12th through November 21st. Chili's, one free meal when you dine in. Dave & Buster's, one free entree up to $20 value and a free $10 power card. Let's see, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, another decent restaurant. Free meal card for one Freddy's Original Double with Cheese combo meal. Redeemable through November 30th. No purchase necessary. Hop Doggy Burger Bar. Have you heard of Hop Doggy Burger Bar?
No, I have not.
I hadn't either. I had to look them up. I'm like, surely this is like a different state thing, but no, they got a whole bunch of them here in Fort Worth. They're closer to downtown, which I don't really go toward downtown. But anyway, if you look at, they're like Los Angeles, San Diego, all the way across the southern United States in several different locations. So that they actually have I went and looked at their menu. They have a pretty decent looking menu. But you get the one free classic burger when you dine in, and Insomnia cookies, good cookies. A free half dozen classic cookies with any purchase through November 13th. But these discounts are awesome and they're great, but they're not just limited to food. Retail establishments are now picking up the pace on the Veterans Day discounts. Academy Sports and Outdoors, 10% off your entire purchase. Amazon, 20% off of select items. Goodyear Auto Service. Yeah, Amazon. Goodyear Auto Service, 10% off any service through November 14th. Free car care for vets promotion is also available, which includes free tire alignment. It says free tire. I don't think it's free tire. Maybe it's an inspection. But the alignment, brake, fuel system, and fluid checks. Oh, free. Okay, they're tire checks, alignment checks, brake checks, fuel system checks, and fluid checks through November 19th. They suggest you make an appointment by November 14th. Great Clips, free haircut on November 11th, or a voucher for a future free haircut. IKEA, 15% off in-store home furnishings up to $3,000. Good up until November 22nd. Kroger, 10% in-store discount for active and former military members and their dependents. Rack Room Shoes, 20% discount for military personnel and their dependents. Take 5 Car Wash, 1 free premium car wash. Target, 10% discount to all active duty military personnel, veterans, and their families. Can be used on 2 separate transactions and applies to all in-basket items online and in-store. Tractor Supply Company, 15% discount on everything through November 11th. Under Armour, active duty service members, veterans, military spouses, and military family members get up to 40% off their purchases through November 19th. And last on my list here, Walgreens, 20% off regular price eligible store items. Also available at Duane Reade. I guess that's maybe a spin-off of Walgreens?
No idea. Never heard of it.
So there's also activities and stuff going on. Fort Campbell had Lieutenant Dan Band there last night. Did anybody see him? Did anybody here from Campbell see the Lieutenant Dan Band there? I've never seen them. I heard they put on a hell of a show. So there's a lot going on. I hope y'all take the time to enjoy some of the freebies being thrown around out there. So, you know, these folks are trying to say thank you for your service, and it's not something that I don't do the Applebee's thing. I did it one time, and it felt weird, so I just don't do it anymore. But I will take the veterans discount at Home Depot and things like that. It's just
You said Tractor Supply was doing a 50% off?
15.
Oh, I thought you said 50. I was like, ooh, I'm going to Tractor Supply.
I'm gonna go buy some chickens.
Buying everything.
Right?
The whole store, 50% off? Yeah, let's buy it.
I had a coworker at work, took his kids, he lives down in Waco, and he took his kids into Tractor Supply, and he had to get some things. And his little daughter was there, and they were selling chickens, little baby chickens. And he, of course, these are daddy's girls, so they wanted some chickens. So he brought home. Well, the thing, you can't just get chickens. You got to get all of the stuff that comes for chickens. You need them. You need to feed them. They need to be. You need to have a coop. And they lost. I think he bought 4 chickens. 2 of them didn't make it because they got snatched up by hawks. And he gave the other 2 away just because the kids wouldn't take care of them. They're like, oh, I'll love them and I'll take care of them, and then they didn't. And so he's just like,
hold them and love them and call them George.
Yeah, we almost bought my kids ducks for Easter one year.
It would have been a mistake.
Well, we had a huge pond in our backyard, so it would have been easier than not having a pond, but we decided against it.
So a lot of people buy rabbits for their kids during Easter and stuff like that, and it bugs me a little bit because when I I raise rabbits to eat them. They're not pets to me. But
Well, my daughter raised, she had an Angora rabbit, and she had it for FFA.
oh, that's dope. I still ate it.
No, you can't eat that. I mean, she didn't want something that she was going to have to kill.
Oh.
So
Okay.
the Angora rabbit is used for its fur. They get really, really poofy and hairy and stuff.
Like a chinchilla.
Yes, bigger, but yes. And so every few weeks she's just cutting hair, and it was pretty cool. It was a cool. What the heck was the rabbit's name? Was Clover. I don't even know what happened to him. I think she gave him away.
He got ate.
I was going through a divorce at the time, so
Someone ate him.
I hope not, and I hope she didn't just like fly be free, because those rabbits can't take care of themselves.
No, they can't. Most common rabbits can't even take care of themselves in the wild, anyways. If you know how they function, you're like, how do you survive? You crazy sons of.
So, sports news. I'm not going to take the thunder out of the sports bar, but I've got to. I do have to mention that the Texas Rangers, World Series champions, for the first time ever. Suck it, Houston. That is all. I got to say, I just think Houston this year turned into the fan base and the town of Houston. I'm not talking shit against any of the Houston Astros players. It's just like they all of a sudden they turned into like the same fan base that the Philadelphia Eagles have. Just nasty.
The Browns.
Are the Browns that bad? I mean, the Brown fan base?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, suck it, Houston. So I'm just happy the Rangers won. There's all kind, they were expecting for the parade, they were expecting like 150,000 people, and then the city of Arlington announced that they were going to call classes that day. So they canceled school in Arlington. And then they're like, okay, well, maybe there'll be 300,000 people. So the police departments and fire departments, first responders are all kind of gearing up for about 300,000 people. But 500 to 700,000 people showed up for the parade. It was pretty massive. There was the streets were lined of people. People were climbing on other fuckers' houses and shit. It was nuts. It was nuts. I didn't go to any of the parades just because I had to freaking work. It was like last Friday at 11 a.m. or something like that. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to skip work and go to a parade.
That's how I got first class seats out of Texas. So
oh, God.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Oh, did you fly through on Friday?
No, I flew out Saturday morning, and the first class seats were just so cheap. I was like, well, I guess I'll just buy first class, like 300 one-way trip.
What? That's
380.
good.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there just like, all right, this is great. First class, let's do this shit. And I flew American. And how I hate American.
I know. Well,
I hate American.
Yeah,
but if they're giving me $300 first class, all right.
You'll deal with it.
I redacted many of my previous statements about the American Airlines. If they can keep giving me cheap flights like that, I'm down with it.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas-Fort Worth is a safe city to fly with American. I mean, it's a hub. I mean, the actual headquarters for American Airlines is here. So the chances of things
Southwest
going
is there too at
south,
Love, right?
yeah, they're at Love Field though. So you can fly in on Southwest Airlines, walk out the gate, get mugged, and then get in your car and then go to wherever you need to go. That's just a shitty part of town, dude. That's a really bad part of town.
Never really noticed it.
Yeah, it's not a happy place. So we got what else we got going on in the world, man? There's all kinds of shit happening between. I mean, Israel and the Palestinians, and it's not even against the Palestinians. It's freaking Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
But then there was something in the news I was seeing. They're like, no, all these charities that are popping up for, save the Palestinian people and shit are actually just front charities for Hamas. So people are giving money to these charities and they're going right into the Hamas pockets.
I thought that was against the law.
Yeah, they're gonna like they follow the law. Yeah, that's a shit show over there.
I don't even try to bark up that tree.
No, it's just it's not even worth it.
1,000 years, they're still fighting. So.
And they'll be fighting for 1,000 years more. So I heard that the SAG strike's over. The SAG-AFTRA, whatever, they said they're on strike for 118 days. So they've officially reached a tentative agreement on a new 3-year contract with studios, a move that is heralding the end of the 2023 actors' strike. The SAG-AFTRA TV Theatrical Committee approved the agreement in a unanimous vote Wednesday. SAG-AFTRA announced all of this, of course, Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. The strike will end at 12:01 Thursday, and on Friday the deal will go to the union's national board for approval. I honestly thought that this SAG strike was over like a month ago. I was wrong, though. I mean, it was the writers. The writers union came to an agreement like a month or so ago, or whenever that was, month and a half. But the actors were still striking. So I have no idea what the agreement was or is, but it's good for 3 years, and then we get to go through all this crap again. It's like the UAW, the auto workers were striking. I think that's over with too. Fuck it, everyone goes on strike. Let's do it.
Good unions go on strike once in a while.
I don't know. I just don't understand it.
I mean, have we seen a quality change in our entertainment purposes over the last year? And
I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed personally. CQ talks about it a lot and is supportive and of the actors and whatnot. Just because he's like of that kind of family. I'm not. I don't give a damn what new shows are on or what. I don't care. I don't watch enough TV to really have I just don't care. And it didn't. I mean, it didn't affect me at all. I don't go to movies. I don't even watch television shows. I read books, and I'm busy doing other things, man. I get home from work. I eat. I shower. I go to bed. I don't sit up and watch TV. Even on the weekends, man, I'm doing stuff. But, there's folks out there that want their new shows to watch. And if you don't have writers, you don't have content. If you don't have actors, you don't have a show. So I get it, man. I understand, but I don't care. I get where they're coming from, but I don't really care. Is it wrong? I don't know.
I know it's probably I bring that argument up of why is anime so popular recently in the United States? It's because of we're really lacking on our creativity skills, so people are going over to cartoons. But that's a whole different story. That me and CQ could probably
have a good conversation on that.
Yeah. Huh? I need my glasses. I can't do this.
So we had an election. I guess it was election day nationwide. Tuesday. I noticed I got home a little bit late on Tuesday night, and the line at my polling place. I had already voted. I voted earlier in the week or last week, but that line was still out the door and around the building, and I've never seen it that long before. A lot of important things on the ballot. One that I was paying attention to was the Prop 4, which this is in Texas. We have a homestead exemption for our houses. So your house, let's say your house is $400,000. We have a $40,000 homestead exemption which means if your house is a $400,000 house, you only pay taxes on $360,000 of it. Well, now they upped it from $40,000 to $100,000, which is pretty damn significant because that was just a cool thing to do, and everyone knows taxation is theft, right? So they raised the homestead exemption from $40,000 to $100,000, and that's just from the we're taxed on the city, the county, the hospital districts, the colleges, and the school districts all have their little hands in the kitty. The school districts, most of my taxes that I pay on my house go towards the school district. So I get my disabled veteran discount, I guess you'd call that, and then on top of that, $100,000 comes off of the taxable value of my house, which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool, and most people are going to enjoy paying less money in taxes, and that's good. It's going to make. I think the state's going to make up the difference for the school districts. So, whatever, it's not going to come out of my pocket. So, I'll probably end up getting not a refund check. It's just like a reimbursement check from my escrow.
Talking about Prop 4 right now. I like that. Did Prop 1 pass?
I don't know. I have no idea. You said Prop 1 was the right to farm?
Right to farm, regardless of where, like gardening or wherever. It's like home. It was kind of like a concept where homeowners association were stomping on people's gardens and shit. No? But it applies to pretty much if you own land, you can farm on it. And I think this is what I got the gist of it. No?
Okay, I've never seen anybody try to have a garden in their front yard.
Yeah, but no, there's a couple people in Florida that do it and piss off their homeowners associations. Seriously. Why are you growing peanuts in your front yard? I could do it. It's my yard. Mind your business?
Even my neighbor, I've got a really, really small yard. Everybody on my block does, super small yard. My neighbor, she has 4 or 5 corn stalks. Every spring, the corn just goes way above the fence. I got a 7-foot high fence, and these fucking corn stalks are way up there. And she eats out of her garden. She's got tomatoes, and I think she's got a whole bunch of lettuce. I think she does spinach, corn, obviously. But it's fine, man. It's fine. I don't.
Oh yeah, it's 79% of people voted yes for it. So
no kidding, really.
That's the Prop 1, the right to farming, ranching, timber production, horticulture, and wildlife management amendment was on the ballot in Texas. Blah 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 blah. Where was it? What the Prop 1 added to a new section of Article 1 of the state constitution to establish a right to farming, ranching, timber production, horticulture, and wildlife management on owned or leased personal property. So if you own your property, you can produce off of it, regardless of wherever you live. So, screw you, homeowners associations.
I guess that kind of pisses people. But you know what? The HOAs are going to be doing it just like, if the Army issues a command, a decision or a standard or whatever. Let's just say, ICE always talks about the PT tests.
Oh yeah.
The Army's going to say one thing, but then leadership is going to do a completely different thing. So I wonder if the HOAs are it'll take them a while to get up to speed.
Just get used to having chickens, next door, going at a random time of the day, because that's how it should be.
So you can have chickens?
It's the right to farm livestock. So if I want chickens on my property,
inside city limits, I really don't want chickens.
No, I know you're saying that, but from what I'm reading from it, it's if you own the property, straight up own the property, you can do whatever you want with it. Huh? When it comes to farming, or producing livestock or anything like that. Now there might be like stipulations of like I've got 20 cows in like a half acre of property.
Yeah, I mean, even in Wisconsin, in Montana, I used to have 5 acres up there. You had to have at least 5 acres in order to have any horses. I mean, they need room to run. That makes sense. But yeah, and you could have your land had to be more than 5 acres in order for an ag exemption. You know, if you had pigs and goats and stuff like that, you had to have enough room for them to move about.
Move around.
Yeah, I don't like HOAs. I was a member of an HOA. It wasn't like it was voluntary. It's just that's where we bought the house.
Well, bought a house and you got stuck into it. Yep.
But the thing is that the HOA never enforced any of the bylaws, and then they said, "Okay, you guys, we have a 70% quorum. You guys have control now." And then all of these people jumped on board on the board. So all these Karens and Chads, or whatever you call the male version of a Karen.
Call them HOA Nazis.
Yeah, and they're pinging people left, right, and sideways. And these folks already had, stuff that was against the bylaws already in their yard. They painted their door, they changed the color, or they whitewashed their brick or something. It's just all of these rules that were against the bylaws, but it was never enforced when the developer was in control of the HOA. So all these people were doing whatever the fuck they wanted anyway. But then the HOA Nazis took over, and everyone, they're putting liens on people's houses, and that was brutal for some people. So I ended up running for the HOA board, and I got elected, so to speak, and we proceeded to dismantle the senior leadership and to rewrite the HOA bylaws and all the covenants and stuff to be like, don't be a dick to your... It was like a 2-page document, not a 30-page document. It was like, be a good neighbor and stuff like that. So that was that. So I was really glad that I did that. I ended up leaving. We ended up moving. So that was that. Looks like we got one of our guests in the little green room here. We'll bring him on shortly. What time is it? We got about 15 minutes to kill. So anyway, that passed. The Proposition 4 was passed, and that's a good thing. That's going to save a lot of people a lot of money.
It's a good thing, even though if you are a veteran, you shouldn't really be paying taxes in the first place. But that's just
Texas is pretty good as far as disabled veterans goes, but nothing, so to speak, of just being a veteran. That would be a cool benefit to you just don't you don't have to pay
anything else other than sales tax. I'm down with that. Huh? Because I think the only tax that's legitimate is the sales tax.
Prosper is like one of the richest districts in Texas.
Prosper?
It's a town called Prosper, and they had on the ballot, which failed miserably. They wanted taxpayer funding for a $92 or $93 million football stadium for the high school. It fell flat on its face.
Yeah, that's a good thing. The people are paying attention to what their city councils and counties are doing.
Right.
Money, so.
Right. Yeah, we do have some pretty fantastic football stadiums here in Texas, and their high schools.
Yes, I would agree with that. I've seen some very impressive out there at Gatesville. I was chilling at Gatesville. They have this huge public. It's kind of like park where it's like 8 baseball fields. And they're like different variants, like Little League, up.
Whoa, cool.
And every Sunday there's just baseball games going on. That's pretty cool. It's like, this is dope. This little town knows what they're doing. Keep the people entertained, but
it's cool. I mean, Friday Night Lights is a thing, man. It is a thing, and it's cool, man, because you get to see the bands will play and perform, and everyone just has a really good time. It's I just think it's bonkers, man. Because when I lived in Ohio, it was very bleachers on this side for the home team, and then you got your press box up there, and then the visitors were just nothing but bleachers. But here it's stadiums and paid parking and really, really nice concession stands, and it's a big different world here. I don't know of any other states that do that. Oklahoma probably does it very well. Louisiana probably does it. Yeah.
Louisiana. I think maybe New Mexico too. I'm not sure about that, but I have to look into it because like you got UTEP. UTEP's big school, and that's like high school football's big thing. I think. I have to look that up.
So check this out, man. Ketchup. How many different ways can you make ketchup, Pookie?
Okay. Original ketchup was not what we think ketchup is. It was like a mushroom concoction. But I digress from my history statement. Let's go with
Let's just go with the story.
Yeah.
So my big question is, what is it with products that we mostly know and love trying to reinvent themselves as new products? So the latest here is Heinz ketchup. Heinz is now going to release a pickled flavored ketchup for hot dogs and burgers in 2024 in response to the growing demand for dill flavored products. Now, the first thing I'm thinking of is Heinz isn't they're not the tip of the sword here. There's been pickle flavored ketchup. There's jalapeno flavored ketchup. This isn't something new. There's other. I mean, they're not the first ones, but I guess they're, it's Heinz, so they're getting the press. So according to Heinz, increased desire for tasty yet unexpected condiments has been our innovation North Star for the last several years. The current pickle craze in America mirrors the irrational love Heinz fans has for the brand. So it only makes sense for our newest ketchup to blend these two beloved tastes together. After all, 73% of Americans love the taste of pickles. Now that came from their innovation team, so I have no idea. They didn't have any sources for their statements there. But I mean, I like pickles. I like ketchup. I'll probably give it a shot. Mm-hmm. I do like the jalapeno ketchup though.
No, they got Tabasco ketchup, which is more fire than the jalapeno.
That kind of tastes good. Sriracha, they got sriracha ketchup. They got. I mean, there's even pickle mustard, pickle flavored mustard.
They got dill. What do they call it? Hot dog dill relish mustard mix.
Yes.
For hot dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
I remember that as a kid. You chop up a couple of pickles and throw some mustard ketchup in there and slather that on some hot dogs. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think ketchup goes on hot dogs. How about you?
Eric says, if you don't like pickles, then I can't invite you to the barbecue.
But does ketchup go on hot dogs? That's my big question.
Does what? Does ketchup go on hot dogs?
Does ketchup go on hot dogs, or is that more of a hamburger thing?
I do mayonnaise on burgers and ketchup on hot dogs.
I don't.
My daughter does nothing. She just wants meat and bread. She doesn't want anything on it.
All right. Yeah, like I only think like mustard goes on hot dogs. That's like ketchup is blasphemy to me at that point. Maybe some sauerkraut, some mustard, maybe some pickles relish or whatever. But ketchup is just, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Oh, back to the vets thing that you were talking about. Eric mentioned in the chats. He said disabled vets in Illinois have discounted taxes up to 70%. If you get 70% disability, you pay no property tax.
That's good. That's good.
I think Texas is the same way. I think 70% is that magic number.
Eric said it. Ketchup on hot dogs is blasphemy.
No.
Yes. Yes.
What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, in addition to the property tax thing in Texas, if you have 70%, you don't pay for airport parking. You don't pay for. Let's see, what else is it?
Yeah, this DV
it's
tax.
It's a big one.
Get away with a bunch of shit
I don't think you have to pay for your vehicle registration. every year. That's just it's a full free thing. There's a couple of really good. The property tax thing is huge. I guess vehicle registration is a big thing too. In Chicago, you get shot for putting ketchup on a hot dog. I've been to the Taste of Chicago before, and if you get it, how did you get that? If you get it Chicago style, they just throw everything but the kitchen sink on that thing,
except ketchup.
I can't remember if there was ketchup on there or not.
You might get a tomato. You might get a tomato on it, but you ain't get.
That's weird. Tomatoes are weird. Tomatoes are weird on hot dogs, but ketchup is fine with me.
No.
So a bologna sandwich. Do you put ketchup on a bologna sandwich?
No.
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 What do you put on a bologna sandwich?
Mustard, maybe relish.
On a bologna sandwich.
Yes.
Kind of dumb.
It's a no-no. Yes,
I think I missed that chapter in things.
Like my mom does. My mom does it. She'll get a hot dog or sauerkraut and throw ketchup on top of it.
Oh,
I'm
no.
Like, what are you doing? Please stop.
Hot dog and sauerkraut. No, I'd put mustard on that.
Mustard, sauerkraut.
It's got to be spicy mustard, not yellow mustard. It's going to be spicy mustard.
Brown spicy mustard.
Yeah.
Got you on that. Yeah. I'll tell you.
I'm not a savage, man. I have my moments.
Bologna sandwiches are only served in prison.
Every once in a while I'll just feel cheap one week, and I'll just my lunch will be like bologna sandwich, like a couple slices of bologna, either ketchup or mayo on there, depending on how I'm feeling, and a slice of square American cheese.
You ever had a Lebanon bologna?
Tell me what that is.
It's like a weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a salami, but they call it Lebanon bologna. It's a big thing, like in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Area, and it's like this sweet kind of salami, but it's so good.
I'd eat that.
You only put mustard on it, maybe Swiss cheese, and that's you're good. Perfect sandwich.
I'd probably fry that up in a skillet before I put it on. That sounds really good.
Mystery meat.
Eric's gonna vomit.
Meat.
So what do you say? We are a little bit early, about 7 minutes early. Let's go ahead and take the break, or go to break. Both of our guests are in the on the green room. So when we come back, Chris Wood and Justin Keely are going to be here with the SITREP Foundation, and we're going to talk for about an hour or so, and find out what these guys do, and let me pull up my break music here, and we'll be back. It's going to be about an 8-minute break, so go ahead and smoke them if you got them. Go and hit the head. Grab yourself a new beverage, a fresh beverage, and be back here in 8 or so minutes. And we'll see you then. Shots.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
It's my
Radio.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby oil. You better hide that big-ass forehead.
All right, everybody. Welcome back for part 2 of Friday Night Freedom. My name is Kaz, and this is WTF Nation Radio. On the line with us is Chris Wood and Justin Keely from the SITREP Foundation. And I hope this is going to go pretty awesome without any technical difficulties. Right? Right, guys?
And we shall see.
That's the plan.
All right, we are here with Chris and Justin. Let me get this other video up, since this doesn't seem to go very smoothly. Copy that link. So what's up, guys? Okay, I just wanted to start off with thanks for your foundation. A lot of I always like to see foundations and organizations pop up that do some benefit for veterans, whether it's an outreach thing or whatever. Tell me about the SITREP Foundation. How did it start? Where'd you guys come from?
So we're a group of friends. We've been friends for several years now, and we're all members of the same local Veterans of Foreign Wars post down here in New Richmond. And, it's one of those things you see all these organizations that are popping up, and you don't really see much action happening, or you see just a lot of marketing, but nothing really actually happening. And but most of these things are on like a national scale. So there's nothing really in your local community that we can see. So we got together and we decided, why don't we do something ourselves? Because we can have some good impact. We got some good connections. We can really impact our local community. So let's get together and let's get something started.
When did you guys break ground on the SITREP Foundation?
We're about 2 years old, so fairly new. We're still off to the races and getting off the ground.
See, I know I've heard of you guys, and I was talking to Amy last night, and I'm like, have these guys been on before? I've heard of you guys before. I just never. I guess this is your first time on the station, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Nope.
Hope this is the first visit of many. So let me see. So Chris, 88 Hotel cargo specialist.
Yep.
How was that? I mean, you guys, you weren't in a very happy part of the world when you were doing most of your work.
No. We if it needed moved, we moved it. Convoy security to fuel to any tanks, helicopters, whatever. If it moved on the ground or in a ship or anything, we moved it.
Human and cargo, right? You guys did the people too,
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And Justin, Marine, happy birthday, sir.
Semper Fi, thank you.
Not looking too bad for 248 years old, man.
I'd like to think I look pretty damn good, but I'll let everybody else be the judge of that.
So
we'll just let him keep thinking that.
So being a Marine, and I Googled the shit out of this last night, and I cannot find a definition for the word yut. Can you tell me what that means?
There really isn't one. We just like to make a lot of random noises and grunts, and somehow we all understand what it means.
I guess as long as everybody gets it,
it's our own little private language. You got to really be a part of it to understand.
So veterans are a massive part of our society. There's like 17 million, I guess, veterans, men and women in the United States that proudly wear the banner as a veteran. And you really can't swing a dead cat without hitting some kind of a organization that does something to benefit veterans. How does the SITREP Foundation set itself apart from all these other organizations that are out there doing the same thing? Not necessarily the same thing, but trying to help veterans.
We're not just veterans alone. We are veterans and first responders.
Okay.
But we try to do anything and everything we can. I mean, if it's to, helping out with a bill or, gas money to get to somewhere or, whatever. It doesn't matter what it really is. We'll do anything we can, to help out anybody. Justin, you want to elaborate?
Like I mentioned a minute ago, you got a lot of organizations out there that, like to try to toot their horn and say we do X, Y, Z, and, we're this and that. But you really don't see a whole lot of boots on the ground. And that's what we kind of want to try to make ourselves and position ourselves in the forefront of, we got somebody that has a need. We're going to be there, as fast as we can to take care of that need. Whether, like Chris said, handling a bill for a vet, or, helping get a vet to an appointment, or getting a vet a wheelchair, or helping get a prosthetic, whatever it may be. Taking that veteran or first responder out to an outing to help with, mental health or whatever it may be. We're going to be there. We're going to actually be the boots on the ground. We're going to get it done. We don't want to sit here and just be all talk. We want to be action.
What do you find being the most needed service from y'all?
Mental health.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mental health's a huge thing, and like Chris said, we're not only just vets. Two of us are active law enforcement officers as well. Myself and our president, Jason Malott. We both work for a local police department here, and we've all had things we've been a part of from our military service, and for us to being in law enforcement, our critical incidents that we are a part of, we've witnessed. Mental health's a big deal, and we all know that mental health has a stigma. The biggest thing being, nothing against the women, but from the man's point of view is, we don't need to talk about this because we're men. We can handle this. Just we're good. Keep it tucked away. Let's move forward. But that's not the case. We all know that causes a huge detriment moving forward. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help us out, and that's one thing that helps lead to the rising numbers of veteran suicide and first responder suicides. So really, mental health is a number one priority for us, and especially for me, just deal with my own mental health. I will be the first to tell you that I'm not perfect. I go to the VA, I talk to people, so it needs to be talked about, it needs to be taken care of, and we're here to help assist that, whether it's through us or getting them in the right direction through somebody else to help.
Do you find that that reaching out for some kind of a mental health, whether it's a counselor or you've got some really deep-seated stuff, some PTSD, things that need to be dealt with and treated? I don't even know where I was going with that. Do you find that there's a stigma in the police force or in the first responder family? Kind of the same way that the military was, and I guess to their credit, they're moving away from that stigma of asking for help.
I 100% get where you're going. It was at least from the first responder side, it's if I ask for help, am I going to be taken out of service? Basically, am I going to be looked down upon and deemed that I'm not able to do my job anymore just because I'm trying to help myself so I can still be on top of my game to do my job? There is still a stigma out there, but I will say, like you just said, it is starting to get better. I think people are finally starting to realize that, this isn't a bad thing. We need to look at this and really head things from the beginning before it goes south or before it gets any worse. So that way we can stay on top of our game.
Yeah, just to erase that stigma from someone who doesn't go to counseling, it seems like, wow, this guy's asking for help. This means he's or she's weak or she's compromised in one way or another. And I think it's the exact opposite, man. I think it's pretty...
absolutely. It's you have the, for lack of a better term, the cojones to understand that you aren't right and you are admitting that and you're seeking that help. To me, that shows you're a bigger person. You know what's going on, and you want to address it head on and do better. That makes you bigger than anything, in my opinion.
So I understand that your president is also a member of the law enforcement community. Had some PTS things that needed to get taken care of, and I don't know if you want to go into that, but he was looking for help and he wasn't able to get it because it wasn't covered. It wasn't a covered condition.
Yeah, so we had a critical incident just outside of our jurisdiction that the sheriff's office actually handled, but we are so close that he was able to actually be on scene almost at the exact time as the sheriff's office deputies were. So he was there. He saw everything. He, kind of assisted around the scene. And obviously, we've all seen things, but this critical incident happened to involve several children. So that's going to hit a little different than your normal average, incident, in my opinion. He went to our chief and said, "Hey, I feel like I need to go talk to somebody or seek some help for this because, that was messed up." So unfortunately, due to Ohio Bureau of Compensation, workers' compensation laws, you cannot qualify for workers' comp unless there is a physical injury attached to whatever happened. So you can have the mental, that's fine, but unless there's a physical attribute attached to it, you're out of luck, basically. So he was unable to take any type of leave, covered by the state for that. So in return, he basically had to suck up all of his racked up sick time to take that time off to get better.
And you're working to get that changed. When Amy told me about this, I was like, I was like, is this really true? And this is kind of crazy because I got a map. I found a map. This is from 2019, so this might be the worst case scenario. It's probably only gotten better since 2019. And right there in gray, Ohio is gray, and gray means mental injuries are not covered at all.
You can go on.
Not at all.
You can go on the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation website, and they have a list on there of everything that entitles you to get some form of compensation through workers' comp. And 100%, there is nothing in there for mental health. So, and again, why? Not every injury is a physical injury. That's a traumatic, critical incident. It's gonna cause you some, mental distress that we need to deal with. So, we're working on drafting a letter to Governor DeWine's office in regards to the Bureau of Workers' Compensation, and we're going to try to push to get some legislation to get that changed through the state.
Are you finding a lot of support or more pushback?
So we're still kind of in the infancy stages of getting this going, but every person, at least that I know that I've talked to and that Jason's talked to, is 100% behind this. And I can.
Yep.
I don't want to speak for everybody, all first responders, but I can almost guarantee you that every single first responder is going to get behind this.
I can't see why not.
It's going to pass.
But you know how the wheels of legislation just go so slow. Even for something that seems very, very obvious and very, very easy to pass. It just doesn't happen.
It could be years.
Yeah.
It could be years, and it's unfortunate. But as long as it does make it, and we can get something passed, then it's a win. Obviously sooner would be better, but a win's a win. Thankfully we got some local representatives in the Ohio State House that live in this area and are very pro veteran and first responders. So I think that'll probably help us. So we obviously have those connections. We're going to definitely utilize those connections to our fullest extent.
And Ohio's not the only one. I mean, West Virginia's on that list. All the gray areas that you see on that map are states that don't have the mental health coverage for workman's comp. The light blue ones are they're covered for very specific instances, and the dark blue ones they cover all of it. So yeah, there's a lot of gray on that map, dude.
It again, still trying to cut through that stigma.
And yeah, so they're forcing officers and other paramedics and firefighters and whatever to take their own personal sick times or personal or their PTO or vacation to recoup mentally, which is just
it's asinine.
Yeah, it is.
And that's if they even take it. A lot of these guys are like, well, I can't afford to take that sick time. And what if I actually, need it for something that might happen? Maybe I have a child that might get injured or a spouse that might get injured, and I have to take that time to take care of them. I don't have the time to take care of that, take care of me. I'll save that for my family. So then they bottle it up, and it just keeps getting building and building and building. And then next thing you know, it's, leading down the wrong path.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone's kind of putting their family first, so they're like, no, we need to go to Disney World this year, so I can't take a week off because I'm going to use that, or Christmas we're going to go and see Grandma and Grandpa, whatever, So, man,
it's unfortunate. It really is.
So is this more of like a letter writing campaign right now to see how much support you can get?
No, so we've got a rough draft. We actually drafted a letter already to send out. So we're kind of in the stages now where we're having some people review it to look at articulation and make sure we got attachments to like the specific Ohio Revised Code law that is attached to the Bureau of Workers' Compensation code, so where it's codified at, and in the government's handbook or whatever. So again, just all the legalese, make sure we got that ironed out, and we got the articulation on point.
Yeah, you got to be correct, because if you're wrong in one little area, they'll just say nope, they didn't do this right.
You send a letter up to the governor's office that looks like a 5-year-old wrote it. They're clearly just going to throw it in the trash and not even look at it. So we just want to make sure all of our T's are crossed, our I's are dotted, and legalese is good. And then at the same time, we're all going to be talking around and preaching and getting people on board. So,
and it's not even it's not like you're gonna have to invent the wheel. You just have to just say, okay, let's do what Texas does, or mirror whatever. I'm not saying Texas, just we're the light blue state right here. So then
exactly.
So it just takes the employee has a mental injury caused by extreme stress in a time of danger. The primary cause of the injury was an event that arose out of or during the course of employment, and the stress was not caused by a layoff, termination, or disciplinary action. That's the qualifying things that have to happen.
And honestly, in my opinion, you wouldn't even need to edit that. But if everybody wants to make things their own, I get it. Mm-hmm. So take that as a groundwork. Edit it to tailor to your state. We would do the same for ours, but any state who's gray can take that and edit it to fit their state the best. Add to it, take from it, whatever they need to do. But I mean, that right there basically covers what you need.
And you guys are right there, kind of near West Virginia. You can maybe get them on board and maybe send.
We're not that far away.
Yeah, send get everybody involved. Get all these gray states involved. I mean,
absolutely.
You got to take care of your own.
Start the tidal wave. I don't mind being the start of that wave.
Right. So tell me, what else is the SITREP Foundation doing? You guys are doing some cool stuff for Thanksgiving this year. Tell me about that.
Chris, you want to take that?
Yeah. We've got a local farm right up the street here. He is also Emmett Ridge Farm. Jeremy is also a Marine. And every year they give out X amount of Thanksgiving dinners, like the entire dinner. And we are getting some for some of our local vets and first responders, and we're going to go hand it out to them. Probably a day or two before Thanksgiving. That way they can have their own Thanksgiving meal. I think each one feeds like 5 or something like that, give or take.
Yeah, like a family of 4 or so, roughly each meal.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing for Thanksgiving. Just trying to help some local vets and first responders out for Thanksgiving. Those that can't, they're either too old or injured or something like that. They can't cook a dinner for themselves. We're going to go ahead and take care of that for them.
Is he going to take it to them instead of bring them to the farm, or both, or?
No, we'll take everything straight to them. It's already boxed up and all that. We'll just take them, hand them the boxes, and all they got to do is throw it in the oven and warm it up.
That works. This isn't the first year. They've done this for a couple of years in a row, haven't they?
Yes. I think this is the fourth or fifth year they've done it.
Yeah, I saw some pictures online back from their effort during in 2020. Which was extra special because I think that was like COVID. So.
Yeah, that was the COVID breakout.
Yeah, that was a good year. We busted out a lot of meals that year.
You're probably getting a lot of participation from local businesses, or is this just from Emmett Farms?
There was a few things that came from like veggies and stuff like that came from a local farm. but everything else, all the meat and everything, came from Emmett Ridge. Yeah, we did, I think, 100 turkeys or 50, 75 turkeys or something like that that year that we raised. And we raised them, we butchered them, the whole 9 yards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. From chick, chick about this size right there.
Yeah.
In that picture to all the way to full grown bird.
That's you can't get fresher than that.
Talking about farm to table, that don't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great, man. I wish you all the success in the world on that one. Is it much appreciated, or is it I guess from the veterans, you bringing them food, and I bet you that's just awesome.
They love it. They absolutely love it. We do like the veteran first responder side of it, and Jeremy has his own group of people that he does helps out through his church, and he's got a broader range than we do. We're just trying to help local. He goes a lot farther out to help out everybody else in the surrounding communities and all that as well. Not to say that we don't or we won't, but he's got a little bit bigger of a reach right now than we do.
Captain Wayne says, "What do you do with the feathers?"
Throw them in a pillow.
Yeah, we're hoping that we can keep this relationship going and blossoming and really expand it and keep it going, so that way we can affect more and more veterans and first responders.
So how did you get involved with the farm?
Well, where I live is in a floodplain, and the first year I moved in here, I had another friend of mine who had just met, who had another nonprofit, who and Jeremy had just bought that farm. I didn't know Jeremy from Adam, and he hooked me up with Jeremy, and I was able to take all of our stuff from here and put it up in his barns to keep it for the flood season. And that's how me and Jeremy met. And I just started working at the farm for him part-time, after I got off my regular job. And, we just kind of built a relationship. And then, the other knuckleheads that I'm with, they Justin, Jason, and Danny, we just kind of all came together. And it just immediate friendship and partnership.
And that's networking, man.
Yeah. And actually, Justin just got married up there.
Yeah, August 12th, we went up there and we got hitched.
Yeah, when I was looking for that farm, the first thing that comes up is like, you can come and this is your destination to get married at.
Yeah, they're really blowing up on the wedding front there. It's doing great.
That place looks beautiful.
It used to be a golf course.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an old golf course.
Laura Wendell Golf Course.
Yeah. That sat blank for 5-6 years or something like that before Jeremy bought it and turned it back into what it used to be before it was a golf course, a farm.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
So what is this? Two spots available is what Amy said, and I didn't get any context with that. What is that? What does that mean?
2 spots available. I'm not sure.
It says there are 2 spots available, and I don't know what that means, and I don't know if you know what that means.
I'm not sure on that one either.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. So another thing she wanted me to talk about or ask you guys about is your SITREP volunteers getting certified to become peer-to-peer counselors?
Yes, we are.
That's got to be difficult. Not
so
just just a counselor. Everyone wants to help. A lot of folks want to help, but they're not qualified to help. So this is a certification process.
Nor do they know where to start.
Right.
So, from that critical incident that our president, Jason, went through, he was able to make some connections after that. And one of the connections is a lady named Amy Foley. She's the co-founder of the Tri-State Peer Support Team. So this is a group of individuals that have have gone through trainings, been certified, and then are now certified to instruct this to get more peer-to-peer responders in place. So we've been talking back and forth with her, and we've got some classes set up, and if we can get it all scheduled, we've already got most of us scheduled, but definitely by the end of the year, all 4 of us should be certified peer support team members and be able to respond to, critical incidents for first responders or veterans and help them with what they need and or get them in the right direction and steer them where they need to go.
Who's the certifying agency on that? Is the state going to do that? You have to take a test or?
To be fair, I don't have the paperwork in front of me at this moment.
Uh-huh.
But she runs this. She sets up and coordinates the classes. She's got the staff that actually teaches it. And Chris, I don't know if you've got the paperwork near you at all.
I do. It's first responder PS. But I know it's at the fire department is where it was. It just the location just changed, but it's Tri-State Peer Support Team. So.
Oh, so they've done this before. It's just this is just another group of folks going through. Okay.
Yep.
They're all certified to teach it. They know it. They're all certified to teach it and teach other people. So.
It's very heavily involved more on the fire side. So we're hoping to help expand that more for law enforcement, just to be on the same page. For
a lot of it will carry over to the veteran side of it as well.
Absolutely.
So does everyone eat off the same plate? I mean, if a police officer needs to talk to a peer counselor, you're not going to you're not just going to talk to a fellow police officer. You might talk to a firefighter or another volunteer.
Right. So there's basically, once we get certified, we get added to a phone list basically. So whatever incident happens, basically just go down the list, whether either who's on call or who's next on the list or who's available. That person gets contacted and say, hey, here's this individual. Here's what happened. And we reach out and we go from there. Boots running.
Yeah, and I know with at least the 4 of us, I typically work third shift, so I'm up all night long. Justin and Jason, they're between first and second. And Danny, who knows, he goes to bed whenever. So we'll be basically 24-hour coverage.
Yeah, we got all time frame.
Are there any other volunteers in the area that can help carry the load?
Yeah. I mean, you got plenty of local police departments and fire departments, and there's plenty of people out there that want to help. It's just a matter of, like I said at the beginning of this piece, where do I find the information and where do I start? So after we get certified, we have these connections now. Now we can start saying, kind of doing a little bit of vetting ourselves on people we might think would be great at assisting with this. Mm-hmm. Then we can steer them to Amy. And hopefully get set up for future classes and get certified. Just help grow that network.
That's fantastic, man.
Plus, we can, once we get in the network and all that, we can print out flyers and things like that, take them to fire departments, police departments, down to the VA. We got quite a few VA centers around here. To take and just throw flyers up with information on where to start even.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that, and even talking with our Amy, I mean, she's in that area as well. There's a very strong community surrounding, very supportive of police and fire and veterans and first responders and whatnot. So I don't think you'll have any problem at all finding. I mean, once you get your feet wet and comfortable with what you're doing, I don't think you'll have any problem at all finding help.
Yeah, Claremont County actually has a very large community of veterans. A very, very large community of veterans. So that's one major point of why we wanted to do this. Again, it's just something else that we can do to help first responders and veterans. But Claremont County is in our backyard, so why would we not want to be a resource to go anywhere in that county and help as many first responders and veterans that we can in our own area, in our own backyard?
I mean, right next door when you got Cincinnati. So
yeah, exactly.
big
Yeah, Cincinnati's 15 minutes from us, so huge.
So what other new stuff you got coming on? I mean, you got the holidays coming up. All of these things, they do take money. Do you guys find yourself doing a lot of fundraisers and whatnot?
Yeah, right now we're trying. We've got we got a big one coming up over at Dudlow Brewing. They're going to help us out. They got a skating rink. It's one of those synthetic skating rinks or whatever. And
tell me about that. What is that?
I'm not 100% sure how it works, to be honest with you. But they put it up on their deck, and it looks just like an ice skating rink. I don't know if you got to have like special slippers or something like that put on your.
Yeah, they got special shoes that you wear that basically mimics ice skates on ice.
I'd still find a way to fall.
And, I mean,
absolutely.
It's a legit rink. I mean, if you go there, you follow them on Instagram, on their social medias, Dudlow Brewing. They've got photos of it up. It's a pretty decent sized rink. I mean, it's got 4-foot walls. It's white. It looks like a legit ice skating rink.
I gotta write this down. I've never heard that shit before in my life.
I'm telling you, find them on social media. You'll see it. It's crazy looking.
It kind of sounds like a lot of fun, even for my old ass.
Plus, we've got a few baskets that we're going to raffle off. We have 2 Freedom Seed dispensers that we're going to raffle off. A few other little things here and there that are in the works. So
that rink, it's called Glice Ice Skating Rink. GLICE. Glice Ice Skating.
I'm definitely gonna check this out.
Yeah, Google that.
So you guys are at the SITREP Foundation.org or com?
We're .com, SITREPFoundation.com right now.
Let me get that in the chats here.
Yeah, so we're currently listed as a federal private nonprofit organization. We are in the works of getting everything turned in and going through the extremely long process to get that turned to a public nonprofit organization, just so we can open up some more doors. But as of right now, it is a private 501c3 organization.
That's another thing that takes a lot of paperwork and got to put dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yep. More fees, all that.
But if anybody wants to donate or anything like that, we also have Venmo and PayPal, which it's still all tax deductible.
Yeah, we got the donation letter. So anything we do, none of us take any money. There's plenty of stuff we pay for out of our own pocket, but literally every dollar we get, we reinvest it into directly assisting a veteran or first responder in need, or we use it to help pay for things that we need to help, veterans or first responders. So there's not a single penny that goes to any one of us. It's all reinvested in some way, shape, or form into the organization and helping our target market.
Have you guys considered teaming up with any other nonprofits that can do other things, and then you just kind of hit it from a couple of different angles?
Yeah. So we've actually the last couple of years we've helped out with an organization down in Texas. You're talking about Texas earlier.
Yeah.
Super great, veteran friendly state. And there's a big event down there called Helicopters for Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I have.
Yeah, they take disabled amputee veterans, first responders up in helicopters to shoot wild pigs, which are a nuisance animal down there. But that's really not, that's a cool aspect. Who doesn't like flying up in a helicopter and shooting animals from the helicopter? That's pretty badass. But that's not what it's all about. It's they have a big event on Saturday night, and then all weekend long they have gun range. There's tons of side by sides. They're driving people around. But the biggest thing is you see all these people, conversing and building connections and network, and
it's camaraderie.
100%. You know,
you will find people down there. They, you will be friends for life just from that one event.
Yep. You know, it's crazy, seeing, we when we go down, we've gone into the last several years, and we kind of have roles that we do to help support that organization. You know, I usually stand out on the flight line, helping coordinate, get people on and off the helos, and clearing weapons jams, things like that. And Chris is kind of help coordinating like multiple different stations and volunteers to help where they're going. He also assists Jason in our our talk, our tactical operations command area, where they actually talk to the pilots to make sure we're staying in our appropriate airspace and we're not going outside the airspace and no fly zones. And so we all got roles down there. And I'm just going to speak for me. It's crazy, helping get a double amputee off a helicopter, and grown ass man who's done way more things than I have, and just down in tears. I mean, just not from reliving an experience. Maybe that was because the last time he was on a helicopter he was medevaced out, but in tears of enjoyment and being happy because you're able to
doing stuff again.
Yeah, well, you're able to reassociate that negative event from the past with something positive, and that camaraderie and that's the whole experience of the event. And so watching that unfold on some of these guys' face, it's so humbling. It's unbelievable.
You can see the nervousness in them when they're getting ready to go out and when they get out there, and then when they come back, they're grinning from ear to ear, and like Justin said, in tears just because they're so happy and had such a good time. So
that's badass.
Yeah.
And you'll take that good feeling. I mean, they're happy, and then that makes you happy, and you're going to take that with you.
Absolutely.
This past year, we usually go down there in February, and this past year we were fortunate enough to be able to take several people down with us, and we took a local Vietnam veteran down with us this year. We also took a now retired Cincinnati police officer who was involved in the 5th Third shooting down in Fountain Square, and we were also able, very very fortunate enough to take 2 lieutenants from the New York Fire Department that were there on 9/11 and spent months and months and months digging through rubble, trying to find their friends and civilians. And again, you want to talk about a humbling experience. Amazing.
It's a new experience for you, and then it's a new experience for them. But then it's a bunch of new experiences for you, because different people with different needs and concerns, and then making them be successful. Yeah.
And a big aspect of that too, like we talked about, mental health, getting these guys together in a safe environment of like-minded individuals that have been through very, very similar experiences and traumas and critical incidents. You see people letting their guards down and trying to actually enjoy themselves finally for once. And, some of them you see actually sharing, things with individuals and releasing some of that trauma that's been, pent up. So it's a miraculous event, with a lot of healing power going on. Like I said, the whole helicopter thing is just a side note really to the real healing going on down there.
Yeah.
You see a lot of repeat attendees.
There's a few that always come down, but they're more like guest speakers, and I don't know if I call them peer counselors, but they just kind of mingle around and just become friends with everybody. A couple of them have their service dogs with them, and it's just having their service dog there with them helps open the other person up, and that dog will help that other person as well. Just open up. So we've got a couple guys that are down there every year, just walking around and helping out. Just trying to get people to open up. So.
I'll bet you for some of those veterans, it's kind of hard to crack that egg, man, to get them to open up just be social.
There's been a few of them, not too many, because usually day one, you'll have that the wall is still up. partway through day 2, you can see it starting to fall out, and then by the night of day 2, Saturday night, usually 90% of the time, I'd say the wall is completely down, and they're just giving it up, to anybody that'll listen, and it helps them and it helps us as well, on both ends of it. It's just a great event all the way around, and then come Sunday, it's time for everybody to leave, and then it's just the walls are still down, but it's you can start seeing the oh man, we got to go back home.
Yeah.
You see groups of people hanging out, exchanging phone numbers and again building those connections. And we've been down at least 5-6 years now, and we've talked to some people, and they're talking about some of the repeat people that come back and are walking around and kind of help being people to hey, here's what's going to happen, kind of filling them in. And it's funny hearing stories of going, hey, I met this guy 3 years ago, and we still talk like every week or every month, and it's awesome.
What the hell's going on with your video, dude?
It's like we lost Chris.
No, he's upside down now.
No, it's black on my screen. But it's a great thing. We're fortunate enough to be able to take people from here and send them down to help experience that. So that's one way we partner with other organizations to be able to bring them through experiences like that. And also because of that, we've met some other property owners down there who do various things like random fishing hunts and things like that. So we've built our own, connections down there, and we're starting to get to the point where we can start setting up fishing trips and send people down. And we got another organization that does some hunting at Land Between the Lakes. Where we can send people, either get it coordinated, or they know that they can call us if they have like a last minute, back out or a free spot. Hey, we got a spot for this date. You got anybody you can send down? We'll bet. We'll find somebody. We'll send them down.
That is freaking awesome. So you guys are located at the SITREPFoundation.com. Are there any other socials that you want to push out there?
We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. All SITREP Foundation. So follow us, like us, share our page. Whatever you need to do. We got great things coming. We're actually in the process now where you can see the logo we have on our shirts. We're in the process of changing our logo. So we just finalized that. We're working on now actually getting it printed on some merch, and we'll start moving forward with that. So if obviously the logo you're going to see is our new logo on the website. So it's similar, but it'll be a little bit different than this. But some good things coming from that. And then, like I said, we got the Thanksgiving coming up. We're going to push that through Christmas as well if we can. And then we're going to be starting to plan here for February for another Texas trip. And, I'm trying to, I'm working on a piece now that I'm going to start pushing as like a little weekend retreat. I'm going to try to push out starting next year and towards the end of August. And then I'd like to try to get this turned into a twice-a-year deal. And, it's hopefully it's going to be a similar thing like this Texas event with the camaraderie and different things that they can do during the day, group engagements and things like that to keep people activated and engaged and, building that camaraderie and that networking and letting their guard down and hopefully get some healing out of the weekend. But yeah, just a lot of good things coming. We got big plans and a bright future ahead of us, and we're absolutely looking forward to it.
That's very cool, man. Yeah, I think you guys are doing everything the right way. But please let us know how this. You're in the infancy with this, with the PTSD coverage for
the governor's
comp. Yeah, let us know how this is going, and let us know when we can start writing letters to politicians after you get this kind of groundwork going.
100%. I mean, once we send, we get our letter absolutely finalized and, the correct legalese in there and we get it sent up to the governor's office. That's when we'll let everybody know and start telling everybody to start dropping letters and bombing the letters and the emails and the phone calls and into their representatives. And, we'll get a good push on this.
Yeah, and I think that if I think if there's a big groundswell of support, I don't think there's going to be much that they can do except for agree and then implement it.
Well, you would think, right?
You would
I
think,
mean,
yeah. I'm the
you know,
optimist here, so.
yeah, and the overall sentiment. We like to think everybody's got this overall sentiment of we really love our veterans, we love our first responders. We know that's not always the case, but overwhelmingly, we have a resounding agreement that we want to support our veterans and first responders. So it just makes sense that we can get this legislation up there and pushed and passed to edit this, because why would we not want to help our first responders to stay ahead of ahead of the game and on top of their performance and mental capacity, and help them be better, so that way they can be better at their job and better protect and serve their communities.
Yeah,
It just
having
makes
solid mental health gives you a solid firefighter or a solid police officer or what
absolutely, absolutely. You're better mentally, which is going to help you get better physically. With working out or whatever. It's going to help you keep healthy relationships, make sound decisions when you're in the line. It's all around. It makes sense.
Guys, thank you very much for your time. You got any other shout outs or websites you want to plug or anything before we get out of here?
No, just like I said, follow us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Keep an eye out for news coming up. We like to be fairly active on those. We could do more, but we do post stuff here and there.
And you guys got day jobs too, right?
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing. All four of us are. We have families. We're going to work full time jobs. Myself, I've got two jobs. Full time job, and then the law enforcement's my part time job. So we're very active, but this is something we're committed to. We wouldn't have took the time to plan this out and start this organization if helping veterans and first responder wasn't a top priority. If that wasn't, what is the most important thing, then we wouldn't even have started this. So, that group is at the top of our list. We want to do anything and everything we can to push that and help our veterans and first responders.
I got you, man. All right, everybody, say goodbye to Chris Wood and Justin Keely from the SITREP Foundation. Thank you guys for being here, man. I really, really do appreciate it. It's a lot of really great information. I can't wait to hear from you again.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited about this this PTSD.
Yeah,
thing.
we'll make you on top of the list. Of
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us on.
Absolutely. You guys are welcome back anytime. All right, everybody, we are going to take a very, very short break, and I'm going to come back and close the show out. Be back in a minute.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Somebody forgot to unmute their microphone. That was me. See y'all next week. Bye.
This is WTF Nation Radio.